Okay, welcome to the 2026 Can Abroad Q&A video. In this video I'm going to answer commonly asked questions that you guys sent me about my future plans, what is going on my channel in 2026. I'm also going to talk a lot about personal questions. How do I afford traveling so much? How do I earn my money? Questions related to my relationship with my girlfriend Lisa. So I'm going to share a lot of personal behind the scenes information as well, things that I usually don't talk about in my videos. So if you're interested in that, feel free to stick around. There are also timestamps down below so you can skip ahead to the questions you're interested in the most. And then yeah, make yourself comfortable as well. Maybe you also have a drink. I'm drinking a peppermint tea at the moment. And let's just have a conversation. First of all, you're currently watching my second channel, Can Abroad Live. On this channel I'm posting more random videos that don't really make it to my main channel, Can Abroad. Also some Q&A videos like this one. And actually one of the questions I got was, why do I actually have two channels? I actually even have 3 YouTube channels, but yeah, I will get to that question later on. I have all the questions prepared here on my phone. But before we start with the questions, I can give you a little live update. You probably noticed that I haven't uploaded a video on my main channel for quite a few weeks now, I think for over 1 month. It is currently the end of January, and yeah, I took a break from traveling and filming. It's funny, yeah, most people, when they have holidays, they go traveling. And I, as a full-time travel vlogger, I stop traveling for my holidays. So the past, almost 2 months now, I just spent here in my base and didn't travel, didn't film anything. Spent a lot of time with my girlfriend Lisa. We also have some very, very exciting news that we just got the confirmation for yesterday, but I'm also going to talk about that later when we're coming to the questions with Lisa. And yeah, I'm in my base. In case you don't know, I'm actually not traveling full time. So what you never see in my videos on my main channel is that in between every trip I take, I'm always here in my base in Jakarta, Indonesia. And I actually just moved to a new apartment last week. This is my new place here, my new base now. And actually I can give you a little room tour later in the video as well. And yeah, the holiday, the break was actually really good. And now I feel very excited again to go on the next trip. I'm actually starting my first 2026 trip in a few days. And then you can probably expect the videos to be out on my main channel about mid-February, so soon again. And yeah, now let me go through the questions. So I asked you guys here on YouTube in the community tab to send some questions. And I also asked you guys on Instagram. In case you're not following me on Instagram yet, feel free to also follow me there, Can Abroad on Instagram. I'm posting a lot of behind the scenes updates as well. You can always see in real time where I am. So feel also free to follow me on Instagram. All right, first questions. Where do you plan to travel for 2026? So the thing is, I always have so many ideas and there are so many places and countries that I would like to see. And I probably have like around 10 specific ideas for countries and cities and places in my head already. But the thing is, I don't really like to talk about these plans unless it's really 100% sure that I'm going, you know what I mean? So I don't really want to talk about things that are just loosely in my head but are not really fixed yet. I can say one thing that is already fixed. Flights are already booked. I'm going to return to the USA. That's going to be during the time when the World Cup is there. So the football or soccer World Cup is in the USA and Canada and Mexico this year in June and July. And during that time, I'm also going to be in the USA. Maybe I'm also going to hop over to Canada for a few days. That's not sure yet, but definitely sure is USA. And I'm going to meet my mom there. Specifically, we are going to visit New York City. So I'm going to return to New York City. That was one of my favorite trips last year. And this year I'm going to meet my mom there. And then I'm going to spend almost 3 weeks, I think, with my mom in the US, traveling to different places there. So that is already one trip that is like 100% sure that's going to happen. And I can, should I say that already? My first trip in 2026, which I'm starting in a few days. I can already say it. That is the exclusive information you get for watching my second channel. I'm going to China in a few days and I'm going to visit 3 cities that I haven't been to in China and which are very interesting, I think. So the next videos on my main channel will be from China. And then other than that, I have many ideas For example, I really would like to go to Africa. Africa is a place I already had in mind last year, but yeah, then it didn't really fit anymore, and I did another trip instead, the Middle Eastern trip. But Africa might be something that I would be very curious about this year. Haven't really decided yet which countries in Africa, but I've never been to Africa, so that would be an interesting place. And then, what is another idea? I'm thinking of Australia as well. Actually, Australia was almost gonna be my first trip in 2026, but then I decided to go to China instead. I know that many of my viewers are actually from Australia. Shout out to you. Let me know if I should really come to your country and which places I should visit. Actually, what is the best time to visit Australia? I think it's basically summer all year around there, right? So it doesn't really matter what month of the year I'm coming. But yeah, that is an idea. And then I also thinking of one country in South America. I've never been to South America before, but I would love to go to Peru. But that is a very far trip. Like if I want to get from Indonesia to Peru, I have to fly to Europe first. I can, for example, fly via Amsterdam, and then it's like 2 very long flights back to back. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that trip. But yeah, some loosely plans, and yeah, but I can already definitely say we are going to have a lot of interesting adventures in 2026 on my channel Ken Abroad, so stay tuned for that. And then the second question actually related to that, how do you decide where you are going next? That is actually a question I receive a lot. So it's usually a mix, like places that I am personally interested in and places that make sense to film. Because after all, like my channel is my business, that's how I earn my money. So it wouldn't make sense if I go somewhere and I know videos from there would not perform at all. So it needs to be a combination of countries that I'm really interested in personally. Also, it doesn't make sense to go to a country just for the views or just because I know videos from that country or from that city would perform well. And then I'm going there, but I'm not really interested in that place. That also doesn't make sense. So I always try to combine both. Places that I am personally interested in and places that have a good potential at least to get views on YouTube. There are just some countries that are better for views than other countries. If you visit some random tiny country in Europe, the chances that you're gonna get high views is probably way lower compared you're going to New York City, one of the most famous cities in the world, you know what I mean? So I always try to combine both. Also some trips I do just because I'm personally interested in, but then sometimes I'm not even filming all my trips. Like some trips are like really just off-camera private trips, like holiday trips, not filming trips. And sometimes I try to combine it as well. For example, last year when I visited the Philippines with my girlfriend Lisa, that was actually a holiday, not meant to be a trip to film, but I still filmed 2 videos on that trip. So that was more of a personal trip, and I still decided to film 2 videos during that trip. But yeah, the ideal destination is a mix of both. Good or high potential for views and a place that I'm really interested in personally. Okay, and then can viewers expect any new points of emphasis or themes in your videos this year? Very interesting question, because I actually thought about that a lot in the past weeks. So because I took some time off, that is always a time when I can, yeah, think about these things, like strategic things, behind the scenes things, like how do I want my channel to look in a year? What type of videos do I want to film? So my most successful videos in the past 1 or 2 years were my arrival / first impression videos. These are the videos that you guys enjoy watching the most. And honestly, these are also the videos that I enjoy filming the most. I really love this feeling of arriving somewhere for the first time, and it feels so exciting. And I think many of you can relate to this feeling, and that's why these videos perform so well. So if you scroll around my channel, you will notice that my arrival and first impression videos are always the videos that have the highest amount of views. So that's why I filmed a lot of these arrival and first impression videos in the past 12 months. Because it's actually the perfect match. Like, I really enjoy filming these videos and you really enjoy watching these videos. So it is the perfect match. However, sometimes I'm feeling like I'm missing to go deeper into one place, you know what I mean? So if you arrive somewhere and I'm filming my arrival video and my first impression, like first impressions are never really deep, you know? For example, when I was in Tokyo, I filmed 2 videos in Tokyo, but both were basically just arrival and first impression videos. And Tokyo is such a huge and interesting city, and I could have easily filmed 2 or 3 more videos in Tokyo, like really going deep into certain areas of the city, certain topics, but I didn't do it because I know if I continue traveling to another place and I film another arrival video, that video will get more views, and I also enjoy doing that. So yeah, sometimes I'm missing going deeper into one place. So I'm actually going to experiment a bit in the next few months to create some other videos that have like a more deeper meaning and going a bit deeper into a place or into a certain topic. So beyond just arrival and first impression videos. So my next China videos that you're gonna see on my main channel will be 3 videos that will not be arrival first impression videos. These will be 3 videos that will go deeper into a certain topic. And yeah, then we'll just see how it goes. If I see that the views are not as high as usual, and maybe I'm also not enjoy filming these videos as usual, then I might switch it again to more arrival and first impression videos after a while. But it's always important to experiment and try new things, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but that's how you grow in life. You need to try out things, and some things will fail and some things will work out in the end, but you never know before you try, right? So yeah, I'm also curious to see your reactions. If you like these other type of videos, then how well they are received by you and how well I enjoy actually filming them, we have to see. But that is something that I'm gonna experiment with in the next few months. And yeah, the next 3 China videos on my main channel will be a bit different. I'm still gonna film my arrival there because I'm going to visit places that I've never been to before. So I'm still gonna film my arrival there, but I'm probably just putting these arrival videos on this channel, on the second channel then, not on the main channel, because on the main channel, yeah, I want to focus on like higher quality, more thought of topics. Is that right in English? I'm not sure, but like going a bit deeper, like bigger stories, bigger topics, covering like bigger things and not just filming like random videos like I often do here on this channel. Yeah, but we'll see how it will go. And then a bit of a more personal question now. What made you decide to do traveling for a living? Huge fan, by the way. Thank you very much. So I always enjoyed traveling. When I was young already, when I was like 13, 14, 15 years old, that's when I started doing my first trips around Europe back then. I always really enjoyed traveling. And then in 2019, I went to Thailand to do an exchange semester. So that was my final semester of my master degrees. And during that time, I really fell in love with traveling in Southeast Asia and specifically. And yeah, during that time, I also started my YouTube channel. My first few videos were videos about my time in Bangkok as an exchange semester, or as an exchange student. And yeah, I just fell in love with filming videos, and I fell in love with being in Southeast Asia. And then I just thought, okay, let me combine that. Let me continue filming videos, and let me continue filming in Southeast Asia. Back then, my channel only focused on Southeast Asia, because that's my favorite part of the world after all. But yeah, then I just had the thought, okay, why not combine both, like film travel videos and try to make a living from that. And I think there's a question later on that goes more into depth about how I started my channel, etc. But yeah, that's how I started traveling for a living. And then, how did you discover your purpose? Many people now feel very lost in their purpose. What advice would you offer someone who feels lost so that they can find their way? Very deep question. So what really helped me was just following my passion. Like I said, I always had a really high passion for traveling. I always enjoyed going to places I've never been to before, seeing places that I only saw in TV before, in movies for example, getting to know people from all around the world, hearing about their thoughts, their mindsets, their way of living. So I always really had a passion for that, and following your passion really kind of gives you a purpose in life, in my opinion. Like I'm feeling so fulfilled by visiting countries and filming videos about that also fulfills me, like sharing content, sharing my experiences in different countries. And that just makes me happy and makes me feel fulfilled. So my advice would be follow your passion. And then many people always ask, okay, but what if my passion doesn't earn me money? I need to do something to make a living, right? But I would argue that there's always a way to turn your passion into an income, especially in 2026. There are so many ways to earn money, especially online. So whatever is your passion, you can create content about your passion and try to find a niche, an audience online about your passion. And there are niches about everything on social media, literally about everything. You can be interested in the most random things. I'm sure if you search for content on social media, there's somebody else doing content about it. So whatever it is, try to turn your passion into an income. And if maybe content creation is not for everyone, but there are other ways as well. You don't have to rely solely on creating content. There are so many ways, but yeah, try to turn your passion into an income. And that is what makes me really happy. Like I can literally earn my money with something that I really enjoy doing, and that is traveling the world and sharing my experiences in my videos. And then, what if you didn't travel for a living? What do you think your job would be? Very interesting. I haven't thought about that question for a while, I think. So if you don't know my background, I studied international business management as my bachelor. I studied that in the Netherlands, by the way. And then I went back to Germany for my master degree, and my master degree was entrepreneurship. So I always had the idea of starting my own business one day. That's why I studied business management and then entrepreneurship, because I always wanted to be my own boss, wanted to have my own business and work for my own dreams and not the dreams of my boss. And for a long time, I was thinking I'm gonna go into marketing. So my specialization on my bachelor degree was marketing, so international business management with a specialization on marketing. And one of my ideas back then was to start my own marketing agency, like doing online marketing especially. I was interested in that. So that would be a possibility. Maybe I would do that now. And then another idea that I also had during my university time was working in hotels. I did internship in hotels while I was a student. Back then I had the dream of running my own hotel one day. I'm not so sure if that would be my dream today anymore, because I've stayed in so many hotels around the world, and I also know the bad sides of running hotels, like dealing with annoying customers and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I would really enjoy that today, but that was one of my dreams as well, like maybe running my own hotel one day. So yeah, if I wouldn't have become a travel vlogger, maybe I would run my own marketing agency now, or maybe I would work in a hotel somewhere around the world. That could be, could have been two possibilities. And then, what does a normal day look like when camera is off? Probably my days are really boring, like having off time. I'm not traveling and filming videos, and I'm just spending time here in my base. Regular day is I wake up, then I always go swimming in the morning, then I order breakfast, and then I spend my mornings. I really enjoy like quiet mornings, slow mornings. I drink coffee, I eat my breakfast, I watch some YouTube videos, and then usually around 11 to 12 I start working. That is also something that many people don't really seem to understand, running YouTube channels, and I have several YouTube channels. I have my Can Abroad channel, my Can Abroad Live channel, I have a Can Abroad Short channel. I'm also on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. So all of this is like running a business. It's a lot of work behind the scenes to run all this, and across all my accounts I'm posting over 100 videos every single month. Yeah, I have editors who help me with editing these videos, and I need to manage these editors. I need to review what they are editing, and then all of these over 100 videos spread across the different platforms need to be uploaded and scheduled. They all need to be reviewed by me, and then I need to plan the future trips. So there are many things that I have to work on, and then replying to emails. I get so many emails every week from companies who want to work with me. Honestly, like I'm not even responding 90% of them, because I don't really like to do many sponsorships and working with companies. There are not many sponsorships on my main channel. I'm doing like many of my sponsorships are with the same companies because I really like working with them, but I'm not really doing like many different sponsorships with different companies. But I get a lot of emails from companies every single day, so that is something I need to take care of. So overall there's a lot of work to do, so I have to take care of that every day. Then usually around 2 p.m. I'm doing a break. I go to the gym for like 45 minutes, then I get lunch. Then an afternoon is again working time for me. And then in the evening I usually meet up with my girlfriend Lisa. We hang out, we go for dinner somewhere, we do something. And then in the evening I like to watch maybe some series. I recently watched How I Met Your Mother again, and The 2.5 Men, two of my favorite series, which I haven't watched in a while. So that is something that I do often in the evening then, and then I go to sleep. So I don't think that my regular days are that interesting. Actually, maybe let me know in the comments if it would be interesting for you to maybe see a video about that. Maybe I could film a day in a life video here on the second channel. Let me know if that would be interesting for you, and then maybe I can film that in one of my days in the next weeks maybe. And also, by the way, I wanted to talk about something else that is not a specific question now, but something very, very exciting that I have planned for this year is I am in the process of starting my own brand. It's going to be a lifestyle travel brand. I don't want to reveal too much now, but my goal is to build something that can live independently from Can Abroad. So I don't want to rely solely on the income that I can generate through Can Abroad. So content, videos, on whether it's on TikTok, on Facebook or on YouTube. I want to build something else that can grow independently as a totally separated business. Of course, that business is going to be advertised by Can Abroad, especially in the beginning a lot. By the way, is it weird that I talk about Can Abroad when I'm Can Abroad? You know what I mean, right? So we have Can Abroad generating the income at the moment with all the content spread around the different platforms, but then I want to build something else. And specifically, I want to mention that I'm not going to do Can Abroad merchandising because, like I said, I want this company to grow completely independent from Can Abroad. So it's not going to be just Can Abroad merchandise. Like I know many YouTubers, when they release products, they are releasing merchandise products, like just simple merchandise products. So that's specifically what I don't want. So I'm doing this together with one of my good friends from Germany. We decided to start this company together, and we are currently in the process of starting the company. There are a lot of like legal things that needs to be done in order to have a company set up and started. And we are working on our first products already now. So the plan is in the next 12 to 14, 15, 16 months to release several different product lines, different product categories, and then see which of these categories performs the best. And then probably double down on these ones that perform the best. But we want to have like a solid travel lifestyle brand with different products that then eventually can grow on its own, independent from Can Abroad. And I can already tell you the name of the whole brand will be TRPX. We will write it as TRPX. We already have a logo. It's going to be on the screen somewhere here now. And you can already check out our website. Currently there's nothing on the website yet, but we have a newsletter. You can already sign up for the newsletter, and then you will be the first person to know about when we have information to share, when the first drop of product is coming nearer. So you can go now to trpx.shop, sign up for the newsletter, and then hopefully I think in the next 2-3 months we will be at a point where we can release the first products. It's a lot of work behind the scenes as well, like talking with different suppliers from all over the world, making sure that they can make the product exactly how we like it. And without revealing too much now, but the first product will be something that is actually very useful and that I think many of you can make use of when traveling. And more information, sign up for the newsletter, and then you will be the first person to know about. And of course, I'm also going to talk about it in my videos as soon as there's something to talk about. Okay, next question. How do you deal with negative comments on your channel? Do you ever feel hurt or annoyed by them? Or have you accepted that this is an ugly and unfortunately unavoidable side effect of having a popular YouTube channel? PS, enjoy your break from travel. Thank you very much. And yes, negative comments are there. That is something every single creator I know does get negative comments. You can be the most nicest and humble guy on YouTube. There will always be people trying to hurt you in the comments, being rude to you, people who don't disagree with something you do or say in the videos. So no matter what type of content you film, even if you're the nicest and most humble person, there will be people commenting negative things. So that is just something that I have had to learn to deal with. To be honest, nowadays it doesn't really affect me that much anymore. And luckily, here on YouTube, I'm not getting a lot of hate comments. It's actually way more on TikTok, but that's just, yeah, there's a different audience on TikTok. It's a younger audience, it's less mature on TikTok, so naturally there are more trolls and negative people on TikTok. But yeah, I just have to deal with it. That's unfortunately something that you can't avoid when you're creating content online, and something that I don't remember who told me that, or if I read it somewhere online or in other YouTube videos, but I learned that hate always comes from, how do you say that in English? Hate always comes from the bottom, never from the top. There's never ever gonna be a successful person who is happy in life commenting really bad and hurting things on your channel. It's always people who are less successful than you, who are not happy in life, who are probably also jealous of whatever you are doing. And these people are the people that comment negative things. I never got a negative comment from another very successful YouTube channel, for example. That doesn't happen. And I would never ever comment something negative on another person's video or picture on social media. Never ever. So once you understand the mindset, so you know hate is always coming from the bottom, never from the top, then sometimes I actually even feel sad for some of the haters. Like sometimes when I read a negative comment, I can see, oh my God, this person must have such a sad life. And then I actually feel bad or sad for them sometimes. So that is a really good mindset to have. And once you really understand that, then you're gonna see these negative comments with a different light. And yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, whenever you're posting content online, you share your own opinions or thoughts on something, there are always going to be people who disagree with that. And yeah, that is just something you can't change. And then a very interesting question. Why did you start wearing only red? That's a question I receive a lot recently, because maybe you noticed I'm wearing a red t-shirt in probably 90% of my videos nowadays, and there's a very specific reason for that. And first of all, what many people think I only have one single red t-shirt and I wear that every single day. They don't seem to understand that you can own several t-shirts that are exactly the same. For example, usually you see me wearing this red Adidas jersey, and I have several of them. And then I have this red jersey, so I own several of the same red t-shirts. So I can just wear, how do you say it in English? I can wear the same t-shirt the next day, but it's not the same, you know what I mean? It looks the same, but it's not the same I wore the day before. So it's not always the same one. And some people also seem to not know that you can actually do laundry in hotels. So I often do laundry in hotels, or I go to laundromats, coin laundries where I can wash myself. Some hotels also have like self-service washing machines. Like Hampton by Hilton is a hotel chain, for example. They always have laundry machines in hotels which you can use yourself. So yeah, I do laundry when I travel, and I have several of red t-shirts. And the reason why I started wearing red t-shirts, so previously, I'm not doing that anymore, but previously my thumbnails on YouTube were always just a screenshot from my videos. And red is a really popping color in thumbnails. So when you wear a red t-shirt in a thumbnail, it pops out on YouTube. And that's something very important. Your thumbnails need to pop out. So that's why I started wearing a red t-shirt, because I wanted to have a red t-shirt in my thumbnails. Nowadays, I'm actually not doing thumbnails like that anymore. My thumbnails now are always edited. So I'm editing myself wearing a red t-shirt into these thumbnails. It's not just a screenshot from the videos anymore. So actually I don't really need to wear a black t-shirt anymore, because the thumbnails are edited anyway. And also nowadays with AI, just one prompt on AI and I can change the color of a t-shirt I'm wearing in the picture. So I not really need to do it anymore, but now the red t-shirt kind of became my brand. Like Ken Abroad is wearing a red t-shirt. If you scroll down my main channel, you will see I'm wearing the red t-shirt on every thumbnail, and it just looks familiar. Like it's like the branding of the channel now. Ken Abroad with a red t-shirt. It's the same when you scroll down my TikTok feed. Most of the preview pictures have me with the red t-shirt, and that just looks like consistent branding. So now the red t-shirts are just part of my branding. That's why I really like to wear red t-shirts. And then one of the most commonly asked questions: how are you able to afford all of this traveling? And honestly, this question always surprises me a bit. It's 2026, and some people still don't seem to know that you can make money by posting videos online. So in case you didn't know, let me break it down to you. So I'm earning money with the videos. Like now, what I'm doing is work, basically. Like, you guys are watching these videos, and whenever you watch my videos, you see ads. Before the video, during the video, after the video. If you scroll on TikTok, sometimes you scroll through ads. There are ads somewhere on the right side on YouTube, I think. Oh, here, I think, for you now. So ads. Ads is how you earn money as a content creator. So when I'm posting videos, I'm earning money because people are watching my videos. And of course, generally speaking, the more views you get, the more money you earn. It's not always the case. It also depends on aspects like where the views are from. For example, if you get views from the US, you get way more money compared to if you get views from India, for example, just because the purchasing power of people in the US is way higher. They have more disposable income. So advertisers are spending more money to reach people in America compared to how much they would spend to reach people in India. So if you're getting a lot of Western views, then you're gonna earn way more money on social media compared to if you are getting a lot of Asian views, like South Asian views. They are paying really low ad rates, for example. So that is how I earn my money. That is how I afford to travel. I can literally travel the whole world, film content about it, and earn money from this content. And yeah, I have my main YouTube channel, Can Abroad. I have this channel, Can Abroad Live. I have a YouTube short channel, Can Abroad Shorts. Then I have TikTok with over 1 million followers. I have Facebook with almost 700,000 followers. And in total, I have currently about 3.5 million followers across all my accounts. And I'm getting on average like about 100 million views on my content every single month. So that is of course generating money, and that is how I earn my money. That is how I afford to travel the whole world. And yeah, that is how you can earn money while traveling the world. And then actually a more interesting question is, how did you afford your travels before your YouTube channel went viral? So I also traveled before I was making really good money from YouTube and from content. And when I was younger, I always afforded it by saving up money, and I'd always had like some side jobs. I was working at a gas station, for example, as a teenager. I was working as a pizza delivery guy. During summer holidays, I often worked in different types of factories to earn extra money, and then I would spend this money on a lot of traveling. That was when I was younger. And then when I started my YouTube channel in 2019, and then when I finished university at the beginning of 2020, and at that time I decided, okay, I want to film more videos, I want to stay in Southeast Asia. But at that time I wasn't even earning anything from YouTube yet. My channel wasn't even monetized then. What I did in early 2020, I started to do online jobs. And nowadays it's so simple to find online jobs. You can literally do so many things online. So in the beginning of 2020, I applied for so many online jobs, and I ended up getting 3. And my 3 online jobs then were, I was doing research work for a YouTube channel in Germany, nothing related to travel content. They are like they did informational type of videos, and they needed someone to help them with research work. I did that. Then I was working for a startup in Germany, managing their social media accounts, so posting pictures to Instagram, replying to comments, to DMs, things like that. And I was working for a German company, writing website texts for them. So all of these 3 things were basic jobs that almost everyone can do. And these 3 jobs were paying enough money for me to at least cover my cost of traveling in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is a very affordable place if you really want to. You can travel for less than $1,000 a month in Southeast Asia. And that's what I did in early 2020. I was staying in hostels, I was eating cheap street food every day so that I can continue traveling while earning not that much money from these online jobs. But these 3 jobs combined earned enough money to at least fund my travels. And then I also, at the same time, I was putting out almost daily vlogs on YouTube. So I was putting a lot of work on YouTube. And then I remember in April 2020, I got monetized on YouTube. And then the first few months, I was earning like maybe $100 to $300 from YouTube while posting almost every single day. But that in combination with the online jobs helped me to make at least enough money to cover my expenses. And then I remember in early 2021, I was at a point where YouTube alone was covering my cost. And then I decided to quit all my online jobs to focus completely on YouTube. And then I put all my efforts into YouTube, into growing the channel. And then later on I also started posting on Facebook and TikTok, but that came much later actually. And then like my YouTube channel grew and grew. And then like now I'm at a point, to be completely honest with you, I'm making more money from my channel than I need every month. So I'm able to save a lot of money every single month as well. And I feel very blessed and happy to be in this position. But many people don't seem to understand that it was also a lot of work to get to this point. Like some people always think we as travel vloggers, all we have to do is film our holidays and then we will get hundreds of thousands or millions of views. That is definitely not the case. You can't just let your camera roll on holiday and expect to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You have to put a lot of work behind it and effort and see your channels as a business. That is something very, very important. Like every other successful content creator I know treats their channels like a business. And then it's way more than just going on holiday and letting the camera roll. How did you begin making videos and how it take for you to make profit? I think it means how long does it take for you to make profit? So I started my travel vlogs in August 2019 and then I got monetized in April 2020. So almost a full year of posting consistently without earning anything. And then I got monetized and then the first few months, didn't make a lot of money, like $200-300 maybe maximum. And then it took me almost another full year until I was able to cover my costs. So in total, you can say 1.5 to 2 years of consistently posting on YouTube until I was at a point where I could cover my cost of traveling in Southeast Asia. But also at the beginning, I was making a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of trial and error and I had other friends who have YouTube channels already, so I had to figure out everything on my own. That's why it took so long. So like almost 2 years, and I would say until I was really making good profits from my channel was probably around 2022, 2023. So like 3 to 4 years after I started filming vlogs. That's roughly what it was like. And then, do you pay for your own plane tickets, use miles, or are you sponsored? So I have never ever gotten a flight for free. I did get some hotels for free in the past, but to be honest, I never enjoyed hotel collaborations. And I also now think it's not really worth it. Like, the reason why I don't like to collaborate with hotels is, so when I'm on these trips and I'm out filming all day, then in the evening I just want to return to my hotel and just relax and don't think about content anymore. When you stay in a hotel for free, they expect something in return. They want you to film content there, and that's why I never really enjoyed hotel collaborations that much. I didn't actually do a lot. I think maybe like 3 or 4 times during the whole time of my channel I stayed in a hotel for free in return to make content there. So I never really did it a lot. I probably could, like with the amount of followers I have, I could probably stay in almost any hotel around the world for free in return for content, for exposure, but I don't really enjoy that. Not saying that I will never do that again. Maybe if one time there's going to be like a really nice hotel coming up to me and I'm really matching with them, then I might do it again. But if I stay somewhere sponsored or if I get a flight for free, for example, I would mention that in the video, so you know it's a sponsored stay. But like all my flights so far, even like the recent Qatar Airways business class flight review I did, some comments thought that it was a sponsored flight by Qatar Airways, but no, I paid it in full by myself. And so did I do with all the other business flight reviews I filmed in the past. Always paid the full price by myself. And to be honest, I'm also not really using miles a lot. Like I never really got into the miles game. Like I tried it out in the past, and then I always noticed like, okay, if I pay this flight with miles now, it's basically like if you convert the miles to cash, it's the same as if I just pay the flight with cash. So I never really understood the miles game that much. I do have some miles, like with Singapore Airlines, for example, and also with Qatar Airways, and then I could also use these miles for other airlines. But so far I've never bought a flight with miles. And I also have a lot of points for hotels, like, you know, I always stay in Hilton or Marriott hotels or IHG hotels, and so I accumulate a lot of points for these hotels, but also so far I've never used my Hilton points. So far I always pay for everything myself, unless 2 or 3, maybe maximum 4 hotel stays in the past. but these are also already like long time ago. Nowadays, to be honest, I just prefer spend the money for the hotel myself, and then I don't have to worry about filming anything in the hotel or delivering any content for them. I can just relax in the hotels, and that's fine for me. And then, hi Ken, can you explain the purpose of having 2 YouTube channels like some of the other YouTubers also have, please? Yeah, actually a commonly asked question. I can understand why some people are confused. Why do I have 2 channels? Actually, I have 3 channels. I have my main channel, Ken Abroad. I have my Ken Abroad Live channel, this one, and I have Ken Abroad Shorts. The reason why I have an extra Shorts channel is because I just think the YouTube algorithm is not that good in separating your short form audience from your long form audience. So it's obviously like very different type of content and different type of audiences. Like the average short viewer has a very low attention span and would not watch my 45, 60 minutes long videos. So that's why I think it's not good to have short and long form content on the same channel. I prefer to have it separated. That's why I have my Ken Abroad Short channel. So people who like to scroll and just watch 1-minute short videos, they can be on that channel. And people who enjoy watching like long form travel content, like 45 to 60 minutes, they can be on my Ken Abroad main channel. And then I have this channel, which is Ken Abroad Live, where I'm posting like more random videos. Like, for example, this Q&A video is a good example, because I know on my main channel, not every one of my followers is interested in watching me sitting down here for an hour and talking about personal things. So this video would not get high views on my main channel. And the way the algorithm works on YouTube is, if YouTube shows the Q&A video to my followers, and let's say most of these followers on my main channel are not interested in watching such a Q&A video, not many people would click. So the click-through rate would be very low. And that would lead to the next video that I post, which might be a proper video again, like a full travel vlog. That video would get shown to less people because the previous video had a low click-through rate. So it would negatively affect the next video. That's why it's not that good to post like videos that you know will not perform well on your main channel, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So these videos, of which I know there's not a huge audience for, not all of my subscribers on my main channel are interested in a Q&A video, or for example, I'm posting haircut videos on this channel. And I know like haircut videos would not get hundreds of thousands of views on my main channel. That's why I'm posting them on the second channel. Same with, I posted videos here with my girlfriend before. Also, these videos would not get hundreds of thousands of views, most likely on my main channel, because my main channel is not a couple travel channel. Like the people there like to watch me solo travel around the world. They didn't sign up for couple vlogs. So the click-through rate would be low and the video would get lower views. And that would negatively affect the following videos. So that's why many creators have second channels where they can just post more freely. Like on this channel, I don't care about the views. I don't care about how many views this video gets. Like the people that are interested to watch it, they can watch it. I'm happy you are here. And the people who are not interested, and they don't watch it. But on this channel, I can just post freely without thinking about the algorithm, without thinking of how many views would this video get. You know what I mean? So that is the reason why I and also many other creators have second channels nowadays. And then what do you pack for your travels? How do you travel so light? Actually a very simple answer. So you often see me traveling just with my backpack. And yeah, most of my trips are around 2 weeks. So usually I travel for 2 weeks and then I spend a few weeks here in my base. It's usually like that. That's my usual rhythm. And when I'm traveling for just 2 weeks and I'm traveling to countries that are warm, I just need t-shirts and short pants. So I usually travel with t-shirts for 1 week, so 7 t-shirts, then 2 or 3 short pants, and then underwear and socks for a week. And then what else do I need? Like a toiletry bag and my camera. I'm having like a small action camera, so it's not a big setup. And my laptop, I have a small travel size laptop, and that's basically it. And all of that fits into one backpack. And then yeah, usually on my trips, after about a week, I need to do laundry. So I do laundry, and then I have enough clean clothes for the second week, and then I'm returning home. When I'm going on longer trips, for example, my USA-Mexico trip last year, when I went to Los Angeles and then to Mexico, that was a trip that was about 3 weeks. So on that trip, I brought my proper suitcase just to have more clothes with me. And also when I travel to colder regions, like I'm going to China in a few days, that will be a trip where I need long pants and a jacket and a hoodie. So that's also when I take my suitcase, because all of that doesn't fit into my small backpack. But yeah, just if you want to travel light, yeah, you can do laundry in hotels, or you can go to a laundromats. Or I think if it really comes worse to worse, you can wash your own clothes in the sink. So I prefer traveling light and going to a laundry once or twice on my trip compared to always carrying the big suitcase. And then I am amazed you don't get stomach viruses from so many random street food stalls in so many countries. What's your secret? The secret is I actually don't eat a lot of street food. I did a lot a few years ago, and my stomach was always nice and could handle most of it really well. But nowadays that's not the case anymore. I have a very sensitive stomach nowadays. I don't really know what's the problem. MSG it's one problem, but that's not the only problem. I'm actually, I'm going to go to the doctor soon to let my stomach properly checked. How do you call it in English? When they put a camera in your stomach and check it? You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna do that just because I have a lot of stomach problems actually, often, especially when I travel. So I'm actually not eating street food a lot. I eat street food when I'm in a country that is specifically known for street food, and there's some street food that I'm really curious to try, and I know it would be good in the video to try it would be good content. Then I eat street food, but honestly off camera, nowadays I never eat street food. Just because my stomach is so sensitive nowadays, and I know I'm gonna get a bad stomach. Like something is really wrong with my stomach. It started about a year and a half ago. I don't know what's the issue, but it's actually really annoying. And often when I travel, like basically on all my trips, I'm having stomach problems. Doesn't matter if I'm in a clean country, a Western clean country, or if I'm in a country that is known for not as high hygiene standards, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter in which country. Like I even got stomach problems when I was in the US, and I only ate like in proper restaurants, in my hotels, and I stayed in nice built-in hotels, for example. Even there, I got an upset stomach on some of the days. So I don't really know what's wrong, but my secret is I'm not really eating street food anymore, to be honest. Sometimes I do still in the videos because I'm curious to try it, and some countries are really known and famous for street food. So I really want to try it as well, and then I say, okay, if I get a bad stomach this evening, okay, I really want to try this food anyway. But usually I don't eat a lot of street food anymore. But back in the days I ate a lot of street food, and the secret there was basically look for clean stalls. Like look what the impression of the stall is. Do a lot of locals eat there? That's always a good sign as well, because the locals usually know what place is good and what not. And then be careful with where you eat and what you eat. And then best advice for someone traveling to a new country alone for 1 or 2 months. Oh, I can talk a lot about this topic. So if you're traveling alone, first of all, do it. That's my first number one advice, do it. Don't rely on other people for your happiness. Do what makes you happy, even if you have to do it alone. If you want to travel to a certain country and none of your friends, none of your families wants to join you, go alone. Just go alone. Be comfortable to be on your own. That is something I can really, really advise you. I would have never went to study in Thailand, which eventually led to me being a YouTuber full-time, if I needed someone to join me. Like none of my friends wanted to come with me to Thailand to join me on my semester abroad, so I just went alone. And that was the best decision of my life probably, because then I started my YouTube channel, I fell in love with Southeast Asia, and now 6 years later I'm still here being a full-time travel vlogger. So don't rely on other people for your happiness, and be comfortable of being alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. If you want to go to a new restaurant in your town and nobody wants to join you, go alone. If there's a new movie in cinema that you want to watch and nobody wants to join, go watch it alone. If you want to travel to another country, nobody wants to join you, go alone. There's nothing wrong with being on your own, being alone. Nobody around you will judge you. If you go to a restaurant and you eat there by yourself, maybe you think, oh, what are the other people thinking? They must think I'm weird, I'm sitting here all by myself. But the reality is, like, these people will forget about you in half an hour again. Like, you will never see these people again, so it doesn't matter what they think of you. Be comfortable on your own. And then the next question is actually similar. Any tips for someone who wants to start traveling the world? I can give you the same advice. Do it. Be comfortable on your own. If nobody wants to join you, go alone. And of course, it is nice to share experiences with friends or loved ones. And of course, traveling together with friends can also be really cool, but don't rely on it. I can just emphasize it again and again. Don't rely on other people for your happiness. If you want to do it, no matter if somebody joins you or if you have to go alone. And another tip for someone who wants to start traveling the world is don't travel too fast. Many people make the mistake of just jumping from one place to another place to another place and staying only a couple of days in each town. Like, my advice would be like, really spend time. Stay 2 weeks in Bangkok, for example. Then spend 2 weeks on an island in the Philippines. Like, stay as long as you like. Of course, if you don't like it, then there's no point in staying 2 weeks. But like, stay longer in each place. And also, an advice I can give you is like, don't make too many plans in advance. For example, you wanna go on a trip around Southeast Asia. Don't book all the flights in advance. Don't book all your accommodations in advance. Like, just book a flight to Bangkok, Thailand, and then just go with the flow. Maybe you're gonna meet new people there and you wanna spend a few more days with them in Bangkok. Maybe somebody invites you on a trip to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and then you wanna go with them. Maybe you really enjoy being in Bangkok and you wanna spend another week there. And if you have everything pre-planned already, all your flights booked, then there's less room for being spontaneous. So be spontaneous, don't book anything in advance. I can tell you, after being a full-time traveler for 6 years now, it's never ever a problem to book flights or accommodation spontaneously, unless there's like a big holiday, like a national holiday or something like that. But these dates are very rare. In 99% of the dates, it is very much possible to book a flight the day before, even the same day. I've booked many of my flights in the morning and then I flew out in the afternoon. Same with accommodations, you will always find a hotel room, especially in big cities like Bangkok. Maybe less if you travel to really rural areas, but if you stay in like big cities like Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Manila, there will always be a hotel room free for you. So be spontaneous and don't plan everything in advance. And then, what equipment do you use and advice you have for starting travel vlogs? Don't overthink the equipment. You can literally start travel vlogging with your phone. Like, most of the phones nowadays are really well. Like, most phones have even better quality than the camera that I use at the moment. I'm currently using the DJI Action 5 Pro. That is a really good camera that I can recommend. Also, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is also a good camera, very similar to this one. So I like to film with action cameras. So DJI, Insta, GoPro is another example, but I don't really like GoPro to be honest. I think DJI and Insta360 are way better, but that's personal preferences. But I like small action cameras because for two reasons. Like, they are easy to travel with. You don't need to have like a big extra backpack just for your camera equipment. And I don't really like to get a lot of attention. Like, if you walk around with a big camera, big microphone on top, then you get a lot of attention and I don't want that. So I prefer these small sized action cameras, and these are enough. Like, I have like a extra microphone here now, but you don't really need that. The internal microphone of most of these cameras is fine enough. So start, like, just with your phone you can start, and then maybe get an action camera. So don't overthink equipment. Advice for starting a travel vlog is number one, film. Film every single day. You need to be comfortable in front of the camera, and you only get comfortable in front of the camera by being in front of the camera. Literally, like, start filming like 100 days in a row, every single day. And if it's just 5 minutes of you to go to the grocery supermarket, film everything. That's what I did in my first years on YouTube. I filmed almost daily vlogs and I filmed everything. Like, the moment I left my hotel, I turned the camera on basically. I filmed everything. Just to practice and to get comfortable in front of the camera. So that is really, really important. Film as much as possible, experiment with different videos, different titles, different formats, different things you film in a video, and then see what type of content performs better, then film more of that. So experiment with different formats, film as much as possible every single day, and film about 100 videos. And if you have not filmed at least 100 videos, how to say that in English? Film at least 100 videos, and then I'm sure at least one of these videos will pop and get attention, and some videos will have higher views than others, and then you can see what works better than other things, and then you can double down on these type of videos, and you will also get much better in front of the camera. So the number one advice is film, practice, and have a strategic approach to it. Like, analyze what works well and analyze why it worked well. Like, try out different types of intros, for example. Try different titles, different structures for your videos. Analyze all that. So there must be a strategic approach. like analyzing everything. That really helped me in the beginning as well, and I still analyze a lot today. Like always analyze why a video went viral, why a video didn't perform as good. And you can see that in the YouTube analytics. You can really dive deep into the YouTube analytics and they show you everything. So that is something that I would really recommend as well, analyzing and practicing a lot in the beginning. And then, could you tell a little about your exchange program in Spain? Which city did you stay in, how long, and what was your experience like there? How did you communicate? Thank you so much for replying, I'm a huge fan. Shout out to you. I'm actually funny, where did I mention that I did an exchange program in Spain? I think I mentioned that in one of my Mexico videos, right? In order to explain why I do speak a bit of Spanish. Funny that you seem to notice that and remember that. But yes, during my university time, so we had to spend 1 semester as an internship. And my internship was in a hotel. Like I said already earlier, back then I was interested to work in hotels. So I did a whole semester, 6 months internship in a hotel. And I did that in Spain, specifically on Tenerife Island. That's an island in the Atlantic Ocean belonging to Spain. Very beautiful paradise island, very nice beaches there, warm weather all year round. So that was a nice island to stay on, but I actually didn't really enjoy my internship there. So I did an internship in a posh, fancy 5-star hotel on the island. But I wasn't really happy with that experience because they just treated me. I wasn't even earning money on that internship. They just provided me with a free accommodation. There was a small apartment that I could live in, like not something nice, not near the beach or anything, just a regular small apartment in the city. And I could eat for free while I was working. So there was free breakfast, lunch included, but I didn't got paid for the internship. So they just treated me like a very cheap worker for random tasks that nobody else wanted to do. So I didn't really learn much about managing hotels. That was my goal, to learn about managing hotels and running hotels and looking behind the scenes. But I didn't really learn anything about that. So that semester was, I wouldn't say wasted, but yeah, I wouldn't really enjoy my time there. But I did learn Spanish during that time because I was living in Spain and I had to speak Spanish every single day. Unfortunately though, that was in 2015, 11 years ago now. And because I never used Spanish ever since, I now almost forgotten all of it. But maybe if you watched my Mexico videos last year, you'll realize that yes, I am able to speak a bit Spanish still. And that was because I did this internship in Spain in 2015 in that 5-star hotel on Tenerife Island. Maybe I should return to Tenerife Island one day here on the channel to see how the island is doing. Beautiful island actually, but I just didn't enjoy my internship there. And then, have you ever thought about doing a vlog in your home country, Germany? You often talk about how much it has changed over the years, and it's clear you care deeply about the country and want to see it do well, even if you're openly concerned about its current state. That's exactly why it would be really interesting and useful to see present-day Germany through your eyes, with your honest narration rather than just touristy view. Honestly, I'm not really interested to film in my own country. Like, I did some videos in Germany before, I think in total 4 or 5 videos on my channel about Germany when I was visiting my family in Germany. But Germany doesn't really spark my interest that much because I know Germany so well and I've been to so many cities in Germany before I started filming content, and it's just not interesting for me. Like, Germany, everything feels normal and known to me, and I just enjoy going to countries and places I've never been to before, and everything is unfamiliar and wow and new, and oh, I've never tried this food before, and that feeling just wouldn't be there in Germany. So that's why I'm not really interested to film in Germany, to be honest. And also, filming in Germany would be more difficult. I think somebody actually replied to this question, something like that. In Germany, people are very concerned about being on camera. We also have very strict laws about filming in public in Germany. So I'm 99% sure, actually I'm 100% sure, if I would film in Germany the way I film my usual vlogs, there would be a lot of people complaining about me filming. Why do you film in public? You didn't ask me if I want to be in your video. You can't just film me. Or if I walk into a restaurant, probably the manager of the restaurant would tell me, oh, you can't film in this restaurant. You need to ask us in advance and get written confirmation, approval, blah, blah, blah. That's the reality in Germany. We have very strict laws about that. So I couldn't Probably I couldn't like really film the same way I film my usual videos just because of the stricter laws in Germany. So it would be a bit of a different type of content. And that's also one reason why I don't really like to film in Germany. But yeah, the main thing is just that it's not that interesting for me to film in Germany. I like to be in countries that are not that familiar to me. But I also see the point, like I often get the question actually, hey, why don't you show us your own country, Germany? Maybe I do it in the future. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna do it, but just at the moment I'm not really planning to film videos in Germany. And then let's go over to some questions regarding my relationship with my girlfriend Lisa, who many of you I'm sure have seen in some of my videos before. So are you going to involve Lisa more into your travels and videos? I would appreciate that because I think she is a lovely person and you two have great chemistry. The thing is, Lisa can't really join me on that many trips because she has a job here and she can't just quit her job and travel full-time with me. And so she only has a certain amount of days per year that she can take off. And last year when she took these days off, then she went on the trip with me and my mom. We went to Labuan Bajo here in Indonesia, to Singapore, to Kuala Lumpur. And then when she had more days off during the summer, we went to the Philippines together. And these trips were also filmed. So whenever she can take days off, then usually we travel together. But yeah, she can't just take the whole year off and travel with me full time, at least at the moment. That's not possible. So that's the reason why she's not on more of my trips. And then, since you said personal, tell us about Lisa, how you met and any plans for marriage. Okay, I can quickly tell the story of how we met. I think I shared it before in a video here on the second channel, but I'm sure not every one of you has seen that. I think Lisa and me, we met in a very modern way. We met online. She actually saw my videos on TikTok when I was in Indonesia for the first time in 2023. Some of my videos then went very viral on TikTok and ended up on her For You page. So she saw me on TikTok and then she followed me on Instagram, and luckily, and I'm so happy that that was the case, I noticed her following me. Like you can maybe imagine, like I'm getting many new followers every single day and I'm not seeing every single person who follows me. But luckily, I saw her following me and I noticed her profile picture. So her profile picture caught my attention and then I just decided to follow her back without any intention, and I didn't text her, just followed her back. And then she started to like all my pictures and like all my stories to get my attention. And when I saw she's doing that, then I started the conversation and texted her. And then we texted not really that much because I was not anymore in Indonesia at that time. So there was not really like a point of talking too much, you know what I mean? Because I was not in Indonesia, she was in Indonesia. So we just texted like here and there sometimes. But then I saw in her story that she's in Bangkok. She went to Bangkok together with a friend as a holiday trip. And coincidentally, I was in Bangkok at the same time. That was in early 2024. And then I asked her, hey, I'm in Bangkok as well, do you want to meet up? And then we met in Bangkok and we vibed really well together. It was a really fun day. Then she flew back to Jakarta because her holiday was over. And I think about a week later, I flew to Jakarta to see her again. And basically since then, we've been dating. And since then, Jakarta is my base basically. That was in March 2024, about 2 years now. That's how we met. And then, what country do you and Lisa dream about traveling together? We actually have many countries in mind that we would like to travel together. I also personally have many places that I've been to before that I would like to show her. But one country specifically is Greece. She's really curious to travel to Greece, especially to Santorini. Like you probably have seen Santorini before on social media with all the blue and white houses there. So she really dreams of traveling to Greece, and I've also never been to Greece. I would also be curious to go to Greece. So that is a trip that I'm sure we're going to do one day in the future together to Greece. And actually I can also tease one more thing. We actually just got the news yesterday and we were so happy about it. Lisa is traveling to Germany with me this year. That's actually something else I can reveal. I'm going to go to Germany for my sister's wedding in a few months. And yeah, Lisa's going to join me on that trip. And yesterday she got her Germany visa approved. And let me tell you, that was a tough process. And it made me realize how spoiled I am to travel with a strong passport like Germany, because you can't imagine how many documents she had to submit to get a Germany visa. It was incredible. We had to prepare it for weeks. We started preparing everything in October already last year. And then in the end, it was 75 pages of documents that she had to submit to the embassy to apply for the visa. They wanted to know everything. And then last week, we got an email that we have to submit something else. They wanted like a really strong proof that our relationship is real. I'm not gonna go into details now, but yeah, a lot of documents were involved in this application process. So we went back to the embassy last week, but yeah, luckily everything approved. And yesterday she got back her passport with the Germany visa inside. And that was such a relief for us, such a beautiful moment, because I'm really excited to take her to Germany. She's going to meet all my family in Germany. We're going to my sister's wedding together. And yeah, that will be in a few months. I'm also gonna film that trip with her, so you can see Lisa's first reactions in Germany. That is a trip I'm very, very excited about. And that will be in a few months here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Okay, and I also promised you earlier that I'm going to show you my new apartment into which I just moved in about a week ago. I'm going to give you a quick room tour. It's looking like this. This is a kitchen and living room area. This is something that is related to the brand that I'm going to build, but I'm not going to go into too many details here. But yeah, we have my kitchen here. I have my coffee machine here as well. Really like to do my own coffee here in the mornings. And yeah, the entrance area, nothing too special. Washing machine here. This is where I just sat down to film the video. I was filming the video with this tripod here. This is my desk area, and I really like that I have a lot of daylight here. So when I'm sitting here and doing some work, then I can enjoy the view, the sunlight here, and there's also sunset view. So I have my balcony here. Also really nice to sit here, enjoy the sun, and there's a sunset view here as well, which I really, really like as well. So nice balcony, and then TV area. Then here I have my YouTube play buttons. You get these from YouTube when you pass 100,000 subscribers. But do you see a difference? This is for my Cannonbroad main channel, and this is for my Cannonbroad short channel. But as you can see, this one is way smaller because YouTube changed the size of these awards, I think about a year ago. So now if you pass 100,000 subscribers, you will only get this size, and before it used to be this size. And then the next award that I would get is for reaching 1 million people. Before reaching 1 million subscribers. So maybe in the future my Cannonbroad channel will also pass 1 million subscribers. That would be incredibly huge, and then I will get a golden award. And then I have some perfumes here. These are the perfumes that I use. My absolute favorite perfume in the world is Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani, the Eau de Toilette one. This is honestly such a good perfume. I really love that perfume. Like sometimes I just spray it on, even though I'm just home, just to smell it myself. My all-time favorite perfume. And then also really great perfume, Yves Saint Laurent. Such a good smell as well. And then I can give you a very good tip if you're looking for a travel perfume. This one is probably a brand that most of you don't know, because it's from Marc Gebauer, a German. And he has a perfume brand, and this is Orange Flamengo from Marc Gebauer. And that is one of the longest lasting perfumes that I've ever used. So this is a perfect for long traveling days. Makes you smell fresh all day. Very fresh smell. Very nice perfume, and something that I also like. I sometimes buy these small tester perfumes to test new brands, new perfumes. And then if I really like it, I buy the big bottle. And this is Coyal Colada. Also very nice summer smell. It smells like pineapple and coconutty. So this is a perfume that I'm maybe going to buy the big bottle of soon. Anyway, enough with perfumes. Then there's an elevator here actually going straight to my room. That's really cool. And then I have 2 bedrooms. So this is the main bedroom. I'm going to show you that in a second. This is the second bedroom, which I actually wanted to turn into an office. But I can't remove the bed. How to say that in English? The bed is like, you can't take it out. So I can't make an office room out of this, which was the actual idea. But actually, to be honest, now I'm also happy that I have my office basically here because I have way more sunlight here and the view. So I'm actually happy with this configuration now. And this room is basically just like a storage room now. An extra room that I don't really need, but I have it. And then bathroom number 1. And then we have the master bathroom right here. And the master bedroom looks like this. What I really like here is so much daylight here. So a lot of light coming in. I really enjoy that. So this is my humble little apartment, which in between my trips I'm staying here. Like I said, I just moved in here last week. It's not far away from where I was staying previously, so the same area here in the Jakarta area in Indonesia. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but about 2-3 weeks ago, I posted a question on my community tab on my main channel, Can Abroad. And I asked you guys, my viewers, to share something about your life, because I'm always sharing so many information about me and my life in my videos. And I was also just curious to learn about you. You who are watching my videos, I like to get to know you. And I just wanted to say thank you. So many comments of you sharing details about your life, where are you from, how old you are, what are you doing in life, why do you watch YouTube, and that was really fun to read. I read all the comments there. Thank you so much for everyone who shared information there. I really appreciated that. That was lovely to read, and I'm very happy. I was very happy reading that. And if you're seeing this now and you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to go to my main channel, Can Abroad, and check out the community tab, and then you can find the post in case you want to add something there as well. I'm definitely going to read that. And then I will be happy to have you with me on the journeys in 2026. So stay tuned for all the upcoming trips. And go see the world yourself. Take care, and until next time.